Okay, hi everybody, and welcome back to lesson 2 of our class novel, The Woman in Black. So, just to remind everybody of the plan for the next few weeks, this is what we're going to be focusing on. So, we've already started looking at genre. We're going to talk about genre again today, and then next week we'll talk about setting. Then we've got character in week 3, narrator in week 4. Hopefully, by that point, we'll have finished reading the book. Week 5, we're going to talk a little bit about doing some creative writing, and then in week 6, we will finish up with a critical essay. As we know already, these are the things that we're going to be looking at during each lesson. So for each lesson, you'll be listening to a little bit from the novel. So I'm recording myself reading the book, and in every class, you'll get an opportunity to listen to some of that during the lesson, but you will obviously not have time to listen to all of the bits that you should. So whatever you don't get finished during the class, most classes are going to be 2 chapters. So whatever you don't get finished of those 2 chapters, you need to finish reading at home. Okay? It's really, really important that you keep up with all of the reading, or you listen to me reading it when you're at home. So we'll read a little bit every lesson, and then after that we're going to do some different activities, some different tasks in OneNote based on the section of the book that we've read. So today we're going to be reading chapters 3 and 4 of the book. And remember that although I'm not there with you, I am online during your lesson time. I'm checking your OneNote. I'm here to help you if you need anything, and I'll be making sure that you're keeping up with everything. So it's really, really important that you do all of the tasks and that you do them on time as well. Okay, so just a little starter task for us then. This one is called Twittering Tweeters. So here's what we're doing. You've got to create a tweet to tell the class about something that happened, is happening, or has happened to you recently. So it doesn't need to be something really crazy. It can be something as simple and straightforward as you having had a nice breakfast this morning before you came to school. Remember when you're writing your tweet that tweets are only 280 characters long. Characters. So you need to keep it nice and short and to the point. A character, remember, includes all your spaces, letters, and punctuation as well. So try and count every character that you've got and make sure that you don't go over 280. So you can pause the video now and do that in the space that has been provided on your OneNote for today's lesson. Okay, so now we're going to do today's reading, or a little bit of today's reading. So we should by now have finished reading chapters 1 and 2 of the book, and now we're going to move on to chapters 3 and 4. So obviously you will not get all of this done during the class today, and whatever you don't get finished of chapters 3 and 4, you need to make sure you've read that in time for coming back for your next novel lesson. And remember that if you are looking for the recordings of me reading, they are in the content library of your OneNote. So we're going to pause the video, and the teacher that's with you just now is going to play the audio recording of chapters 3 and 4, so I hope you enjoy it. Perfect. Now that we've finished our reading, we're just going to have a little bit of a reminder about genre, because that's what we're looking at this lesson. So remember, a genre is a way of categorising different texts. So each different genre has elements that are common to that genre, so things that you would expect to see in that kind of text. And we call these the conventions of the genre. So we're going to start by doing a little matching up task. You're going to see on the OneNote lots of examples of various genre conventions, and you're going to match them up to the genre that you think they belong to. So you can talk to a partner about this if you like, but everybody needs to make sure that they're doing it. And just to give you an example, what I mean is that if you saw something like high-speed car chases, you're going to match that up with action, because high-speed car chases are something that we see really commonly in the action genre. Okay, so pause the video, do that just now. And then on to a little bit of summarising next. So just to make sure that we're all happy with chapter 2 and that we've all managed to get it read, we're going to do a little bit of a recap. So you should have finished reading chapters 1 and 2 before you came to this class. So we're going to do a summary task. On the OneNote page, I want you to write a bullet point summary of what you consider to be the key events from chapter 2. So remember, when we say key events, we mean the things that are the most important things that happened. So try to include at least 5 bullet points. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't really remember what happened in chapter 2, then please take a little bit of time before you begin to skim and scan through the chapter to jog your memory of what happened. Super. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about Gothic horror, and we're going to do a note-making task. So we're thinking about the chapters we've read so far, chapter 1, chapter 2, and then whatever you managed to get read at the start of the lesson, probably a little bit of chapter 3, maybe not the whole of chapter 3, but it just depends. And again, on the OneNote page, there's a little space for you, and what I'd like you to think about is how good a job you think The Woman in Black is doing of being a Gothic horror so far. How well does it fit the genre and what we know about the genre conventions? So you might want to think about the bullet point list on the left here as subheadings to help you organise your thoughts if you like, if you want to type in sentences, or if you just want to go ahead with bullet points, you might want to have a look at them to give you an idea of where to start. So we're thinking about whether or not the book is a good example of Gothic horror so far. So you might ask yourself, does it have any young, kind of moody heroes maybe? Have there been any eerie or gloomy settings? What were they? Has it included any descriptive language so far? Has there been a big build-up in suspense? Is the tension kind of building as time goes on? Does the story have a mysterious air to it? And anything else that you can think of. So I want you to make some notes about how well the book fits as an example of Gothic horror. So pause the video and have a go at that now. Okay, and well done if we've managed to get this far. We're just going to finish off with some chapter questions. So the first one is, read the first and last chapters of The Journey North again. How do Arthur's feelings towards his trip change? They're different at the beginning of the chapter than they are at the end. So what changes? Pick 2 words that Arthur uses to show that his train journey was not pleasant. So it says, hint, look at page 36. You might not have the exact same copy of the book as me, but if it's not on page 36, it'll be round about there. So pick 2 words that tell us he's not having a good time on the train. And last of all, what does Samuel Daly think of the area around about Crythin Grifford? Have a go at these questions. And you're done. Okay, brilliant. So please make sure that you've finished all of these tasks before the next class, and please make sure that you are keeping up with the reading. You're either reading the book at home or you are listening to my wonderful audiobook recordings in the content library of your OneNote. And remember that even though I'm not there, I'm still on Teams during your lesson time. You can send me an email, you can message me on Teams, and I'll be there to help. But well done.